Və mən indi bura Mastercard'ın Şərqi Avropa, Orta Şərq, Afrika və Türkiyə üzrə vitse-prezidenti Esin Unal Yilmazı dəvət etmək istəyirəm. Esin xanım indi bizə Mastercard'ın gücündən danışacaq. Xoş gəlmisiniz.
Hi everyone. It's a pleasure to be talking about women leadership in front of a lot of brilliant women here today, and with the support of a lot of men as well. My name is Esin, and I'm a woman committed to rethink about the women empowerment and redesign that as a consultant. And today, my purpose is to tell you a little bit about my story. So I'm from Turkey, I'm living in Istanbul, but I was born in Ankara. Most probably majority of you had a chance to visit Istanbul, but Ankara is the boring part of the Turkey, and I spent more than 20 years there. It was my comfort zone. I graduated from university there, living with the parents. Then I was just trying to understand what I'm looking for in terms of my career. And my father told me, and he's a brilliant surgeon, and he's my role model as well. And he told me, Esin, pick your way. Either I will just try to find a public work for you in Ankara, or you can try to come up with your own options. I was not clear about what I want, but I was pretty clear about that. I didn't want to stay in Ankara for another time. So I just moved to Istanbul, and I started applying for some educational programs, and I was accepted to a master's degree in Bosphorus University on financial engineering. But it was like an executive master at night. During the days, I was not doing anything. So I started coming up with applying to the internship programs in Istanbul as well. And on a rainy day in Istanbul, with a flood in the city, I was the only one who appeared in front of the PricewaterhouseCoopers with wet pants, wet shoes for an internship interview. And they said that, okay, you are free to go, you're accepted. And that started my journey on consultancy. When I just fast forward to the present days, after 19 years of consultancy, I can say that a lot has changed in my life. I just changed 4 different works. I relocated to Middle East, and then I moved back to Turkey. I met my husband. I had 2 kids now. One is 4 years, the other one's 8 years old. And I keep working a lot, traveling a lot, going to Middle East, Africa, Europe, all the time. And I should say sincerely, the journey was not easy. It is not. It was very challenging. I think consulting, and on top of that, the business world itself is not designed for women. And you feel that in different ways along the journey as well. Just to give you some examples. When you first graduate from university as a, let's say, engineer, they say that you cannot work in the factories, you are not fit for that. It's not secure for you. Sometimes they said that you have to work significantly more than your peers as a woman so that you can get the same promotion. During the promotion phase, they pose you questions like this. Are you thinking of having kids? How much maternity leave you would be taking? Are you ready to travel back? So the sad but true fact is, as women, in this process, we don't always hold each other's hands, right? Sometimes I see that we believe, okay, I have been through this hard path, so you had to go through the hard path as well. This is how it works. But still, I work with enthusiasm, but I think it was in my late 30s. Obviously, this enthusiasm gave its way towards this helpless feeling. I remember one day approaching to my husband saying that it's too tiring, I cannot do it anymore, I don't feel that it's working for me. And I couldn't name it those years, but I felt I think it was the glass ceiling phenomenon that I've been through. I was feeling that I was held back, things are progressing slowly, I don't know anymore what to do with my career. And I was just really, when I told that to my husband, I was just waiting for him to pat me in the back, saying that, Esin, it's gonna be all right, you would work through this one or so. No, he stared at me for a while with all his calmness, and he said, it's your choice. And then, it's your choice. You choose to open that phone when you're watching your kid's soccer game. to reply for a work call. You choose to reply to your emails when we are having the family dinner. It's your choice to be present in this world. And then I started thinking about this fact, right? Up to what extent do I have the freedom of choices along my career? So there were some outcomes out of that decisioning process. First of all is, yes, it was my choice to decide that I can pursue a career with 2 kids, with not much of a support. But it was not my choice to get a delay in my promotion because of 2 maternity leaves. It was my choice to compete in a male-dominated industry in like technology, in payments, but it was not my choice to be paid less, right? It was my choice to accept a travel-heavy work, which requires a lot of overtimes, but it was not my choice to be criticized as not being tough enough because I declined a travel requirement to attend the ceremony of my kid. Yes, I think as ladies and everyone in the business sector, we have incredible freedom of choices, but we just need to be mindful about the surrounding factors we create. Be mindful about our motivations, the feelings, what is working well with us. And today we talked a lot about the happiness, right? We know that we are smart. There's some way to go for happiness as well. And we advise women to seek leadership roles. But the missing part is the sense of belonging in those leadership roles. It's not the purpose of fulfilling the roles and fulfilling the quotas in an organization, but you need to create a sense of belonging to these women, which they would feel secure in an environment that they can flourish. I think each and every company spend a lot of money on diversity programs, a lot of money, time, and efforts, but do they really work is a big question mark. And you know why? Because the originating part of majority of those programs was done in 1960s, when we were not that much present in the industry. And still the same things, same components are there. The trainings, the coaching sessions, the women empowerment related motivational messages coming from the coach, the quotas in terms of the recruitments. But it doesn't create that sense of belonging, right, for us. I think all of those programs are kind of focused on changing the behavior of the decision makers in the organization so that they can hire more women, they can they have to give more opportunities to the women to hit the figures and everything. But it's still hard to retain women, right? Because the latest figures shows that women started to change jobs more than men. It's hard to keep and retain women talent, especially in emerging markets. And have I found the right choice for my organization? That's a question mark. But one thing we try to do in Mastercard is we try to change the things from our perspective. So we have a global community called Women Leadership Network, and this is like a global initiative, and the purpose is to become the employer of choice for women leaders. And this is a program with standard procedures globally, but what we did, especially for Turkey, is to understand what are the key pain points for the women who started their career in our company, especially in Turkey, Middle East, and Africa. And for example, we did some focus groups, and we have seen that we are missing the critical talent at an early stage because they think that the consultancy is hard, technology is not fit for them, payments is just for males or so. So we started organizing university programs to come up with targeted recruitment. We initiated these programs 2 years ago. Then, as part of our hiring process, we have case study interviews. In those case study interviews, we have seen that the women applicants have trouble coming up with the case performance. And this year, we designed training sessions for them. So this is to make sure that at an early stage, we really attract the talent. And then, in the organization itself, we have seen that as they pursue their career, as they become more senior leaders, they have more tendency to leave the organization because they think that the work-life balance is not really supporting. We started taking some actions towards that one as well. And one thing, and a very critical learning we had is, I think, the most effective solutions that you design is without diversity in mind. It is when everybody is engaged and think this as a solution or a problem for the whole organization, then you can start creating the new solutions that would work for everyone. It is not just to come up with better diversity figures. You just need to engage everyone, because look at this room, look everyone around, and see the color that we bring to any room. I think in any organization that color is needed. So ladies, bring up your lipsticks, bring your heels, and just get ready for the journey. Thank you.